The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Tired of that same old breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Same old tasting scrambled eggs, burger, that dinner steak, ribs, or pork chops. Why not add a little bit of spice or just a touch of heat to make the difference? Change that scrambled egg with a little bit of Johnny Fabulous's John Cena Sr.'s $1 Million Jalapeno Hot Sauce. Great on burgers, steaks, chops, and those barbecued ribs.
So it's clear, incredible build, still keeping yourself in great shape. Did you feel it was necessary? Well, first of all, I'm going to make an assumption here, and feel free to correct me. I'm assuming at some point in your life you used some PEDs to get the build that you have to a certain level. Did you feel it was necessary to do that to make it in the sport of pro wrestling?
I think so. I think anything under a doctor's guise, if you were to prescribe something,
there you go.
It's medicine in one aspect. In the second, anybody who claims in this industry, like, isn't seeking some sort of edge to keep themselves in the game as long as possible so they can make money, is not being truthful and honest with you. But to do your business, to compete at the highest level, you have to train body, mind, soul, be physically adaptive to anything, to be able to live on the road, to stay injury free, because if you're injured you can't make money. Is it a necessity? Nothing's necessary.
Sure.
But at the same time, what keeps you in the game for as long as you can at a high level, who's to say? Who's to say?
Honestly, if you look at some of the athletes who have blown out their knees or torn ligaments,
I've had 5 knee surgeries.
Oof. Yeah.
I've had my biceps torn off, my pecs torn, countless knocks in the head, like, this shit hurts and it catches up to you.
Does it concern you at all, though? Like, look, bodybuilding, I'm sure you were into watching bodybuilding, too.
Not at all. I hate bodybuilding.
Really? Okay.
I did one bodybuilding show just so I can beat them because they're such fucking assholes. And
There we go.
They're demented narcissists, and all they do is, they work out and they eat their meals and they pop themselves on Instagram. They fucking play video games and they'll smoke weed, and they're such low-life
They
losers.
play video games and smoke weed?
That's all these bodybuilders do.
Wow.
And then they just pose.
Interesting.
And I'm like, I train, and then I was training around bodybuilders. I'm like, these guys don't even train. They just take drugs. So I'm like, I'm going to beat them by just, I did one, and I hated it. I'm covered in, like, fucking soot, this spray tan bullshit,
This is
horse
stupid.
spray, and, like, fucking bagel dust, and, like, Cheetos all over me.
Cheetos?
Like you're on stage, and, like, you're all diuretic out, so swig of vodka and you're like, whoa.
Oh, my God.
Then you're hammered and you're posing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Those are so lame.
Ridiculous.
Good then, stuff. I beat a bunch of them because, I don't know, I'm a psychopath and competitive. But, so I didn't really get in. I respect it, especially at a high level, and seeing, like, what true conditioning and dedication is to some. But, like, a lot of them, yeah, it's bought and it's easy and it's just, like, PEDs in a bottle. Just watching them train upsets me because we as wrestlers train so much harder, and the physical toil on us is so much harder.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, yes and no.
No, I got it.
Well, speaking of physical, to me, you've always had the mic skills. You're obviously solid in the ring. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Does it confuse you how some of these smaller guys like Adam Cole, or let's say a guy who doesn't even take his hands out of his pockets, Orange Cassidy in AEW, does it confuse you when you see these guys getting like these pushes?
No, because, they resonate with a vocal minority of fans.
So what's over is over at the end of the day, or?
I guess, is it over enough to attract, the multi-million people audience, or are they kind of tuning out? Dave Meltzer said I was a bad worker. He gave me a 5.
Oh, no, when you mentioned before about star ratings, I just assumed you meant
No.
the guy Meltzer, who everybody seems to, like, hinge on everything he
anybody
thinks.
could say whatever they want about me. Kurt Angle fucking put me over.
That's all that matters, really. At the end of the
I
day,
couldn't give one shit what
I
anyone
wouldn't.
else says.
I wouldn't
You know
give a
what I mean?
shit either if Kurt Angle saying that to you.
But like, when
At
you
all.
cater to one group, this group's going to resonate with people that they can resonate with because, they look like them, or they feel like them, or they have the same interests. Like they're interested in video games and kind of lethargy that plays into superhero fantasy that's not realistic. Yeah, go with it. It's cool. It sells T-shirts. It sells. Does it sell tickets? Sells T-shirts. It gets the views on the socials. But is it growing the audience? And I think there needs to be. Wrestling is a balance. It's Baskin Robbins. There's so many different flavors, and I think you got to pull from every one of them. So they work hard. They're actually entitled to their spot. If they're given it, they deserve it. But we also need variety, antagonism, protagonism, different things, because as a variety show, you need variety.
Bryant, one of the fans out there,